Yes. And we're back.
Yo!
Welcome back to the Black Multiverse Theory morning
show.
It's not morning show. Podcast. Correct. Welcome back to the let me turn that down a bit. Welcome back to the Black Multiverse podcast, where hosts Nigel and Nilo explore current events through an Afro-Canadian lens. In shout-outs, Blessings family, hey Barry, we catch up with the community, creating a space for connection. In the scroll, we dive into our social media, current events, and celebrity news, always actual but not always factual. On the screen shares our latest watch list, while in our ears explores the sounds shaping our worlds. The podcast culminates with an uplifting messages we call the word, hoping to leave you empowered. Thanks for tuning in for this insightful analysis and vibrant perspective on the Black experience in today's world.
Yeah.
I did. We can't hear it, but the people can hear it. We can't hear it, but they can hear it.
All right. So we're here on the Black Multiverse Theory
podcast. Yes.
Can I move this over?
Yeah. Where do you want to move it? There?
Right there.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I did that with the magical world of television.
Not the magical world of podcasting. Okay. Today we have a lot of things going on. Of course, it is the 2024 New Year.
2024.
New Year, as Bill says, this is the colonial New Year. It's
Yeah.
New Year's start all over the year.
Yeah, there's a bunch of New Years that are starting. What you think, believe,
practice, do all that stuff. So we had a couple of things dealing with the New Year, but probably the same old nonsense.
I guess before we start that, though,
New Year, same us.
Do you got any shout outs?
Of course. Then we're going to start with shout outs. I want to shout out everybody at the Standing Bear community. We had a New Year's Eve sweat that was 10 out of 10. It was really awesome. And I peeled my first teepee poles and was able to hoist and help assist with hoisting the teepee up, the tripod of the teepee up. So,
right.
Yeah, it was really cool. I had to check my ego several times because there's mad times I was like, stop helping me, I just want to do it by myself. But then I'm like, no, girl, that's not what this is. So
Colin Brereton is on there. Happy New Year. Also brought back the boots again. Talking with the boots.
He loves it. If anybody doesn't know, that's the Dolly boots. I don't even remember the designer. It's why they're not paying us to remember that.
No, but I want to shout out to Mama Zita, who's online right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I call my day one right there.
Literally
my day one.
Day one, but actually.
Yeah. So, and of course, we talked about Colin being here. Shout out to my boy, Tim Noel, who had that a show of a time.
Yeah, on Blues on White.
Blues on White.
That was a good time.
The greatest performance that I've seen him do.
Mm-hmm.
That was, and he had to perform in the day as well.
Oh, wow.
For Beulah Church. He did a worship service with Beulah, and then went over to do his show in the night and did 3 1-hour sets like a gladiator out there. So fantastic job he did. The greatest and funniest story about that is Tim and I, one of our first performance outside of church was at Blues on White for Crystal DeSantos, an excellent artist, actress, just a tall glass of water, fantastic young lady, and she performed there. And Tim and I, straight out of church, did everything that had to do with church. We rocked back and forth with the church two-step. We did some of the moves that some of the sisters would do in church. We still do those moves we used to do in the choir. We did a bunch of those. We didn't know half the songs because we're coming from a gospel background, and we took the phrase "fake it till you make it" all the way to the tilt. And
he made it.
He made it. So I'm very proud of him that he went out there. I was telling him the story of one time when I was on stage with him. We were singing Vaga, and there were some drunken people dancing in front, and us being from church, never seen anything like that before in our entire lives. So
they be dancing.
It was hilarious to watch. And same thing happened at his show. And a lady in the crowd, I pointed out to a lady in the crowd, and she licked her finger and touched my hand. And my whole arm went limp beside me. And I turned to Tim and said, "Oh my God, she licked my hand." And he burst out laughing on stage. I had to get like wipes to wipe my hand after, because I was like, oh.
I've had a guy, you know how you kiss the back of a girl's hand?
Yes.
I've had a guy lick the back of my hand.
Oh, no.
So I appreciate that story. It definitely was triggering.
When he was on stage, a lady came up and grabbed his hand and kissed it.
Oh,
and he was like, and he pulled his hand up. But it was great to watch him.
We had a lot of fun. It was a fun time.
Yeah, he had a great time. He had me join him on stage. Which was very interesting, to say the least. But we had a good time on there, doing a little bit of whining and stuff like that.
Shout out to Karina and Lucila.
Yeah, background singers.
Who's that tall guy? I know him. I see him. He loves me up, but I cannot. His name is not coming to my mind.
Yeah, he is from New Season of Praise.
Yes. Always shows love.
Always shows love. Tim has him on speed dial. So while you were away during Care West,
Tim was there on the road.
Yeah, Tim had
that's awesome.
The rhythm section going, and he was part with his brother was on the rhythm section.
That's
and
nice.
Then when we did our show last year for Five Artists One Love, him and his brother came and sang with us there. So that was really cool.
I also want to give a shout out to Janelle. It's her birthday yesterday. Yeah,
happy birthday.
Go by Jay. If you can, definitely check her. Eugen. Thank you, D said. D came in with the name. Thanks, D.
Oh, Eugen, yeah. And the other thing is, we got to send a shout out to Tim because it is his birthday on the 7th.
Oh, on the 7th as well.
So he's one of the January's babies.
Okay, so sorry if you get a chance. I didn't mean to cut in on Janelle there, but I also didn't mean to cut it on Tim. So check out Essence of an Empress, essence_of_an_empress. If you are an aphrodisiac person over here and you find yourself on the aphrodisiac website, you can actually book her for Reiki and work and readings and all of that stuff. It helps if you have goals that you want to set aside. A lot of people have goals. It's the new year. So she can help talk you through that stuff and kind of, help give you some direction.
Nice.
So check out Essence of an Empress, and a big shout out to Janelle.
Nice. A shout out to Tania, who's on as well, and GD is on. So we're doing good. We have shout out to, and not to forget, my lovely children and the Steel Heights Tigers, who will be starting back up tomorrow with practice in the evening. So shout out to them, and shout out to all the rest of the people that are in and on and have supported us over the years. We love ya. So thank you so much.
I actually did the math, and this today is episode, I keep forgetting the numbers.
Earth 238. We're here on Earth
238.
We're at Earth 238. We know there's a multiverse, and this is Earth 238.
So we're looking to do a live show, which I believe will be March 27th for our
300.
250. Do you want to do 300?
Oh, 250?
I was 250 and then
Sorry,
500.
I didn't do the math. Like, do 38 plus 78, 300. Perfect. All right. So, yes, 50. Great. March, we will do a live studio audience.
Yeah.
We're inviting everybody to come out.
Yeah.
And we're going to just do our show and have you kind of comment as we go along.
It'll be streaming. I talked to Bobby T. I have to send him out a comprehensive email about how to set us up for that, but it will be good.
Quick bats. Shout out to Machel who joined us today.
Episode
I was supposed to call her yesterday, and she came on the show today to rub it in my face. I did not. Apologize.
I don't think that's why she called.
No,
I feel like
Shella is another day one. She's amazing. My cousin Shella, she's fantastic. Always got my back, and if I had a better memory, I'd have her back better, and I apologize for not having her back as much as I need to. So she's on right now, though. She's fantastic. Therapist, if you need therapy, she has the avenues of where to go for, especially when it comes down to just dealing with yourself and how you're going to deal with the life that you live.
And if you're the part before therapy where you just need little snippets of therapy on your social media, she does have little social media clips that can definitely help you out.
She calls us whole soulers. So we're there. So
yeah,
fantastic. So check her out. That's Rochelle. Charles. That's Rash Heel.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Let's go on to the scroll, everybody.
The scroll. I don't have it. What is it? The timpani roll?
The scroll was the roll, I believe.
Okay, you can't hear it, but the people can hear it. Okay.
The scroll.
The scroll. We have Canadian wireless phone plans and internet plans set to go up this spring. Which I'm like, up where? Because, like, they're so high already. So I'm confused.
They're trying to move the government in a direction, I believe.
Oh, is that what they're trying to do?
That's what people normally do when they raise prices. Like,
they're trying to make the government do something with something?
Like, Epcor just went up.
They raised a bunch of prices.
And a lot of things are up and moving with that. And I had a conversation this holiday season with, family and friends and everybody about what's happening around the world and how it's happening. My uncle, who's been a mechanic for the longest while, was talking about the voltage of a battery and where are we going to get the electricity from to run our electric cars. He goes, we're going to use the same fossil fuels to get the electricity to run the electric cars. And I explained to him that 10 years ago, 20 years ago, a battery to run a computer was humongous. A battery to run a laptop was humongous. A battery to run even a tablet was humongous. And they keep getting smaller and smaller. And as the technology gets smaller, it's allowing us to go bigger. Yeah. Our phones last way longer than the original phones, and they're half the size of the battery. Right. And he kind of was thinking about it. That's the greatest thing about Uncle is we can banter back and forth, and it's just banter.
Yeah.
It's just topics, so it's good.
So, yeah, internet and cell phone plans, though, I think Canada has the highest in the world.
In the world.
So, yes, up we go, I suppose.
Time for me to pull out the Metro PCS plan, or what my guy friends used to call the brother man plan.
Well, even Fido's going up, apparently, because Rogers bought Shaw, right? So who cares now, I guess?
Well, Shaw went up, that's for sure.
Shaw is Rogers. That's why it went up.
Yeah.
That's Darren Hall. He said, beautiful people, what's happening 2024? More we implore. Time to settle the score.
Wow.
What's understood needs no explanation.
Wow.
Say less.
He's a poet, and he didn't even...
Quote D. Hall, nevermore.
There we go.
Heart. Star eyes.
Dare Hall, one of the greatest guys. He celebrated a birthday not too long ago. We did mention that.
The 12th, yep.
We did mention that.
2 weeks in a row we mentioned it. So.
Yeah.
And now 3 weeks.
Because that's my boy.
That's
our boy. We're gonna announce every month until his birthday comes back.
He just had a month. He just had a birthday 6 months ago. But Albertans are so broke with the rising of grocery prices, the rising of mortgages, the rising of pretty much the entire cost of living, that we are buying whole cows, half cows, quarter cows. So apparently we're cutting out the middleman, and people are going straight to the ranchers and purchasing their cows, their whole, their half, their quarter cows.
Nice.
And preparing the meat that way. You can pay a little bit extra. They said it's about $5 a pound, which is technically grass-fed organic meat. You can't get that for $5 a pound.
What are they feeding cows other than grass?
Grain
fed.
Yeah. And other stuff. Sometimes they feed them just other.
Is grain not organic?
It's not about grain being organic. It's what it does to the cow's stomach, and then what it does to the cow, what it does to the cow. To the meat.
Fair enough. What it does to the cow. I get it.
Yep.
All right. That's fair enough.
So, apparently an average cow weighs about $400, and I did the math. It's about $2,000, I guess, to buy a whole cow. Which is, I guess it's not bad if you're thinking about it like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's fine. It's the best thing to do. I mean, you're buying it bulk at this point.
I get it. I get it.
Okay, we have a 20-year-old was it in Edmonton? Arrested for stealing
drones.
$100,000.
28-year-old person.
Okay.
Stole $100,000 worth of drones.
Wow.
And those are the drones not used by the military to bomb other places. These are the drones that are used
to photograph mountainside,
different things that go up high. They interfere with a lot of things, so you're not allowed to go past 20 or 30 feet, I believe it is, as far as height is concerned. And
oh, straight talk.
Rochelle said, OMG, what a shout out. So we got it for you. We got you, girl. So, but the drones, $100,000 worth of drones. They went to Fort Saskatchewan as an Edmonton man, went to Fort Saskatchewan, went to 2 places that sold drones, took them, and then made it back. He was tracked back by the police. The police caught him, arrested him, and he is allegedly arrested for stealing. Now, alleged is very key in this, because I feel like they're not too sure if it's him or not. But
no face, no case. No face, no case.
I don't know what they're going to do with this alleged thief.
Listen, if I'm that man's defense attorney, which my mom said I should have been a lawyer anyway, I'm gonna get you on probable, or what's the other one called? Not probable cause. What's the other one? Reasonable doubt. That's what we get you every time. Reasonable doubt.
Was it him though?
But was it though?
You're gonna be that. You're gonna be that lawyer who has like a lookalike next to you, but the real crook is like way in the back of the court.
Yeah.
Are you sure this is the guy?
But also, how many drones is $100,000 worth of drones? Is it 100 drones? Are they $1,000 drones? Is it 2 drones? And what is he doing?
Well, last time I bought an actual drone. When I bought an actual drone, I bought one when I was doing websites for Bethel Church Edmonton, and the drone was $99 from Walmart.
Okay.
So it's like $100 drone, and then I used the drone to create footage by going up high and going up low and getting shots.
You know what he might be doing? You know, in China now, instead of like regular fireworks, they have like drones.
Drones, I saw that.
That's what I would do.
So Korea just did like
that's what I would do.
Dragon in Seoul, Korea.
That's what I would do with $100,000 worth of drones.
I think that was more than $100,000.
I'd be down there like view, 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 view.
How do you control all
wow, it's a flower.
And then that leads me to tell everybody, listen, Kiss Kitty Society, you need to join up, send kids to Kiss Kitty Society. We're going to give you some information. We're going to get that all wrapped up for you so that you can see what's going on with them. And we have 2 drones here as a sample of drone soccer, which we are introducing for the Kiss Kitty Society in the new year. So stay tuned, and we'll give you more information. If you want to teach children piloting, engineering, and technology, this is the best way to do it. Along with what is it?
We don't have $100K worth of drones.
Quidditch. You can teach them Harry Potter Quidditch. Expecto Patronum, and they're gonna have a good time.
Oh my gosh. We have Air Canada here.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm too close?
No, it's just saying that it's peaking a bit. Maybe if we back up a bit.
Is that better? Thank you for telling us.
Thank you, Colin. Double check with if anybody else is hearing the peaking. Yeah. Let's see if it's us because we are laughing.
Malik, if you're on, let me know. Also, Air Canada apparently sucks.
Ooh, yes.
Allegedly.
Air Canada has been ranked 7th for not being on time for flights. So those of you who've been flying lately,
out of 7, by the way.
Just
so you get an idea for the scale.
You've taken a flight and you came up across Air Canada. They have been ranked 7th. I don't know if it's out of 7.
It is. They came in dead last.
So what ends up happening is
just if you have Air Canada, travel flexibly, be ready, make sure you have snacks, because chances are they're gonna be late.
Air Canada is the only group that I know that went from, they have like a luxury class, a business class, and then they have your regular commoners class. Commoners. And then I think they have in the boot class.
Let me roll underneath.
With you and the dogs just sitting there freezing cold. Flying. So
that's the Spirit Airlines entire airplane.
Flair Airlines.
The last time I dogged Spirit Airline on Instagram, guys, I was on restriction for like a week.
They gave you a restriction?
They put me on restriction. They said that because some lady was talking about Spirit Airlines. I just wrote what happened. Like, they rolled us onto the pedway, whatever the taxi way, whatever, tarmac. They rolled us onto the tarmac for 4 hours. I stayed in a Spirit Airline plane. I remember rolling out to the tarmac and being like, wow, Spirit's actually going to be taking off on time. Great, I'm glad. Mind you, Mercury is retrograde at the time, so I should have known. Anyway, yeah, they gave me restrictions, so let's lay off Spirit Airlines on here. Let's talk about TD Jakes.
TD Jakes.
Now,
if you want to know anything about TD Jakes, get ready.
Is that what he does?
That's what his claim to fame, like his original message that went viral without us having social media at the time was him actually going. He came in and he was like, everybody get ready, and he just kept saying it over and over, and people just loved it. But here's the funny thing about TD Jakes, and what I'm finding about all people in the world, everybody has a problem, so don't put all your eggs in the basket, right? When we were growing up, There were lots of preachers, televangelists.
We didn't even tell the people what the man did yet.
Hold on. I haven't got there yet. This is the disclaimer before we say what happened. So, Jimmy Swaggart, my mom loved Jimmy Swaggart. It was Jimmy Swaggart, till they found him in a hotel room with a person that wasn't his wife. And it became a thing.
Oh my gosh.
And it was national because he was a televangelist and he had millions of people following him, and it broke off. So TD Jakes also has millions of people following him. Also has been accused of being with Diddy from none other than Diddy's ex, who is Cassie. So
no, that's not the story. Is that the story you're telling?
So Cassie.
Cassie wrote it in the documents.
Cassie wrote in the documents, which caused everybody to do a deep dive on what's happening. We're finding out that he has been molesting young men.
Allegedly
molesting young men, and it's all over. And they're doing an investigation on him and his family and his wife
and his daughter, because apparently I fell down the hole.
Wow.
Are you sure I didn't say this out loud on this podcast?
Not at all.
Anyway, allegedly, TD Jake's daughter offered this lady counseling session when she had how do you call it? After you give birth. Postpartum. She had postpartum over there. Mm-hmm. And she was like, she offered her. She recorded the counseling sessions and then got the lady's baby taken away. And then was like, I'll take the baby, and took the baby. And now the lady has been contacting her, trying to get the baby back. But she's over there on social media with the baby like it's her son.
Oh, wow.
Allegedly, obviously.
Oh.
Obviously, allegedly.
All allegedly. So now, the Jakes family is under fire for the Diddy, and everybody's coming out of the woodworks for the Diddy stuff. For the Diddy stuff, and it's now a lot of people are in there. TD Jakes is one of the ones in there. So he just came out with a thing at Christmas time where he came on stage and he was like, don't worry about it. I'm not even going to address things that aren't true. And even if I did it, I just have to say, ask God for forgiveness. And he's got me.
He said there's nothing you can do that God does not forgive.
And
if he did it. I've never heard anybody who didn't do a thing say, if I did it. However.
Not even O.J. Simpson, who wrote a book.
If I did it.
I didn't do it, but if I did it.
Right. We don't do those things.
So that's a O.J. Simpson book. So, that's what happened with TD Jakes.
That's what's going on over there in the Jakes camp.
Which leads us over to the Epstein case. Documents have just been released as well. The call logs. And now they are naming off people in there such as Prince Andrew.
So there's a guy on there that says AS. So the guy, they found out because they list his name one time. It says like Andrew Stewart, right? Mm-hmm. So then they Google Andrew Stewart, and it turns out that Andrew Stewart, a business associate who flew lots and lots on this plane, died mysteriously of a heart attack in his sleep after he was subpoenaed to testify in the Epstein trial. Mm. So, just saying. And the Epstein logs, the thing that's like really creepy about it is that it has who flew, like by name, right? Mm. Like, there's Bob, Jane, and Joe. And then it says 2 females, 1 female. Like.
Okay.
So you're listing 3 people, and then you have 2 females, 1 female, 2 females. Unnamed on the call log. So it looks sketch-a-doodle-doo. Okay. Other people who are on there?
So the other people are U.S. presidents, former president Bill Clinton is also on there.
On there too. So, and Donald Trump, actually, former U.S. president Donald Trump is on there. Lots and lots and lots.
So the Epstein case is coming in. At the dinner table this week, we talked about Donald Trump attempting to come back in. He's not supposed to because he's been convicted of crimes. But he also has 6 Supreme Court members that are Republican, and 3 of them he appointed himself. So
we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens with that.
Correct.
All right, what else we got?
The last thing we have on the scroll, I don't know if we want to go through it, but we will real quick, is of course, because we're starting a new colonial new year, we've got predictions. And predictions are from specific predictions are from older, ancient white folks. I think Nostradamus was white, right? I believe he was.
I think, yeah.
I see him as a white man with a long white beard. Eastern European, probably.
Maybe.
No? Anyway, we have Vaga, and we have, I don't know if I have them all here, but I'll try. We have Vaga, and we have Nostradamus with their 2024 predictions. You ready for it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, the people said... He's French. Okay.
His name is Machel.
They said that Putin is going to have an assassination attempt this year. Putin? Not Poutine. Not fries and gravy.
Okay, so Putin.
They said that there will be biological weapons testing by a big nation.
Okay.
This is the lady. They said there's going to be massive economic crisis. Mind you, she died in 1996.
Okay.
She says terrifying weather events. She says increase in cyber attacks. I could have predicted all of this. And she says new treatments for illnesses. I could have predicted all of this, is what I'm trying to say.
Speaking of new treatments for illnesses, she's right, because just recently two pharmaceutical companies have come out with an alleged cure for sickle cell, and we're going to hear more about that later, as our leading people for sickle cell, such as Miss Jean Walrand and...
That's doctor, right?
Dr. Jean and Dr. Zita will be doing some stuff this year to talk about sickle cell and this new treatment.
Amazing.
Later.
Yeah. Okay, now we have Nostradamus. Nostradamus said a red adversary is going to be putting the ocean in dread. So people think that means that China is going to be
running around the seas,
fighting over there in the Red Sea. What you don't know that's going on right now, well, I'm sure we all know, is that the Red Sea is like a major trading port to get things into Israel and whatever. So the rebels from sorry, you guys. Anyway, there are some pirates on the sea who are interrupting ships, not letting cargoes go to Israel, but also not letting cargo go. They're not Somali. It's not the right area for it. Leave those people alone. All of Somalia is like this.
Hey. Sorry, guys. Go back to fishing. Sorry. We're done with fishing.
Relax.
Sorry.
You guys will tell me it's actual, but it's not factual. In any case, they're over there interrupting the people. And so, who knows? Maybe China will go over there too.
Okay.
Fall of the Pope, they said there will be a death of an old pontiff, and a Roman good age will be elected. So they say that the Pope is going to pass away maybe this year. I'm only reading these because if they're right, next year I want to be able to be like, yo, we said all this on the podcast.
And the funny thing about that is without these predictions that are coming on there, we've already done a lot of stuff that have come to pass.
Yeah, we've
covered it first.
We have our own predictions.
We've done a lot of stuff on the show, so just to show you what's happening.
And the last is that the King of Isles will be driven out by force and will be replaced by someone who does not have king in his name. So they think that King Charles will be driven out this year. I mean, listen, every year starts out, we have our little bingo cards, and then the year progresses and shocks us all. Last piece that may or may not be on your bingo card for 2023 is that Snoop Dogg signs, and this will lead us into the end. Snoop Dogg signs the first mariachi band ever to Death Row Records. So congratulations to them.
Their name is Mariachi to Death.
I don't even know what their name is. I'm sorry, you guys. It's actual. It's not factual. I don't have all the facts here. We're doing the best we can. What do you want?
Listen, it's what it is, all right?
What do you want from me? My God.
All right.
And that's all we have for this week in the scroll.
We're going to move on to the next part, which is what's on the screen.
I pressed it, but you can't tell. The screen. Okay.
So, what are we watching on a screen? So, there's a lot of things that come on, a lot of shows that you can watch that are great, that are not so great. I've delved into Disney Plus and got into Percy Jackson and the Olympians. And Percy Jackson came out originally through Disney, and the actor who played was amazing, was great. They had a lot of people like former James Bond,
Pierce Brosnan.
And so Pierce was on there. There's quite a few people on there. It was funny. And they've retold the exact same story with new kids. It's
but in episodic form? Is it a show or is it a movie again?
It's a movie. It's an episodic form, so it's in episodic form, but it's just like it's the exact same scenes.
Oh, it's like scene for scene.
It's literally almost scene for scene.
Which I'm like, why are we rebooting anything?
I don't know why they chose to reboot this particular one. Like, it wasn't done well the first time. It was done really good, but the kid who plays, actually, his voice is so young. He reminds me of Michael J. Fox when he was a kid, and he did Back to the Future. So I feel like this kid could be the next Michael J. Just because his voice.
Okay. He has okay. Yeah. Michael J. Fox. People looked at him his whole life and was like, "I just want to love you. You're so cute."
Literally. And he literally was like, he just had one of those faces that you just fell in love. He was that kind of heartthrob. And this kid is very similar to that, to me. I feel like this kid could be the next
future heartthrob.
Yeah, future Back to the Future king. So
I'm so glad they haven't touched that one yet.
I'm not. I think we could have done a lot more with it.
I'm good.
It's so good. Back to the Future is so good, and there's so many things you could have done. They went back to like colonial age. I was like, this is terrible. Why did you go back to a time where black people were slaves and nobody could help you?
They always do. So. Okay. Bet. I watched a movie on HBO called Nice Photograph, Nice Life, I think it's called. Great photograph, great nice life. Anyway, it's about this lady who is a photojournalist, and she finds out that her grandmother's passing away and has to come back to America. And she but she starts talking about this family secret. There's a family secret, and they kind of know their grandpa's like creepy old grandpa type of a deal, but there's nothing outwardly conversing about the situation or whatever. So she brings her video in there and she starts interviewing him, and then he just casually starts talking about violating young girls, like absolutely molesting young girls, and saying that he had a problem and so on and so forth. And some of those young girls was his daughter and his granddaughter, which obviously rolled into like family issues that they had to sort out. And so it's like watching the whole family reconcile with this thing that has existed for so long, but they've not actually spoken out loud or talked about, and watching the youngest really be the one over there breaking these generational curses, I guess. Yeah. and working through them. So that was very brave of her to like put her life and put her family out like that. She started reaching out to his victims to try to give him a voice and all that stuff. And I do understand like healing your lineage and stuff like that. So in any case, if you like weird, creepy, gory stuff, definitely check that out. We also watched Saltburn, and we cannot keep going without, I'm so sorry, without talking about the fact that we watched the movie Saltburn. One thing I could say was directed by a woman. There's probably three. Do not watch it with your children, period, period, period. There's probably about 3 scenes in there that were
creepy, gross, disturbing. Can we go on?
Not in that order.
Do we go in there? The funny thing about Saltburn is a story about a individual who goes to college and then meets a guy that you think that he is enamored by, and then what ends up happening is
you can't say what ends up happening.
And then what ends up happening is they go to a place called Saltburn, and then from there the story gets twisted.
Yeah.
So that's basically the premise behind the story. So you gotta watch it. Personally, I don't recommend watching it. I'm like, pass.
If you are a heterosexual male, this may not be the movie for you, dare I say. It may, if you just lead a regular, I'm vanilla baby, I choke you, but I know killer baby. If that's your life, this is not a movie for you.
Yeah. all of that.
Not for you, okay?
But it's shocking. Reviews, and people are calling it a comedy.
It is funny, actually. There are parts that are funny.
I didn't laugh once.
Okay.
Not even once did I was like, oh, I was not even a chuckle, not even a nothing.
If you like movies that are shocking, and if you realize that there's not a lot of shock recently, there's not a lot that will shock you, and it's a woman director. So the places that she went, directing 2 males as their leads, was mind-blowing. My niece said it's her favorite movie ever. She's seen it 3 times. I'm probably going to watch it another time or 2.
The funny thing about it is I feel like I didn't expect... It's weird. Because I expected creepy, gross, weird
in a different way
from a male director.
Yeah, but she went places a male director would never, ever go.
Yeah.
And at least 2 of 3 of those scenes.
That's not really true. Because American Psycho kind of went along that pathway. There's a couple of them that have gone along that path. Even Dahmer the other day went along a pathway.
A pathway, but I feel like, yeah.
And these are all true stories. She made this one up. Like this.
She did read a couple. This is like, it does come out of a couple books. There was a book that. Anyway, watch the movie or don't. But please, don't watch it because I said to watch it. Watch it because you have fascinating curiosity. If you like pimple popping videos, if you like, it's so shocking, which I love.
I like pimple popping videos. Do not watch this. If you like pimple popping videos, don't listen to Nilo. That's absolutely wild. Okay.
So what are you listening to?
Now, I have been listening to Baby Girl, What's Your Name?
The covers?
T-Pain.
Or just T-Pain, period. Have you watched the covers?
On
top of the covers?
I started to watch his concert that he has on YouTube, and it's an hour long. And so far it's great.
Yeah, check it out, you guys, if you have it.
The venues are amazing.
T-Pain is really wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I love him. I just love him right now. I have been listening to a lot of live music, a lot of live concerts, and yeah, that's what I have. Lots of Tiny Desk, lots of Colors show, all those things. I'm shocked Snoop hasn't done a Tiny Desk, by the way. Like, there's a bunch of people that I'm like, how do we not have this? And meanwhile, they have over 1,000 Tiny Desks.
Yeah, well, they're gonna reach out. I mean, there's just hundreds of thousands of artists out there.
It's true.
They'll get to him. This might be his year. Him and Putin.
Mayhaps. Poutine?
And Putin.
Sorry, everybody.
So there you go. The next thing up is the word, and Nilo has a word for us, everybody.
Oh, I do have a word. Okay, my word is all about teasing out your triggers. I think that a new year has come for those of us who celebrate at this time, and it is a good idea to think about what your triggers are and what things are you still very reactive to and still very raw and wounded about, and just start working on those things, whether it is through therapy or there are things that is called like mental health maintenance. That's not necessarily talk therapy, but it's like writing letters, it is reparenting work, it's all of those things. So meet up with a practitioner that can help you work through those things, because it is really hard to figure out your path and to listen to yourself and to be guided by your inner self if you're all tangled up in these triggers that we deal with on a regular everyday basis. So take time to sort of work those things out and like get yourself on a path where when your intuition says, hey, it's a clear voice, and of course that you're able to listen to. And that's what I have for today.
That's good.
Yeah, I feel like it's not so bad. Ina said, best podcast ever.
Wow, Ina. That's nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. We are doing a lot for the 2024, so please stay tuned. Invite a friend out. If you would like to sponsor something that you have going on, you want to sponsor the show, or if you feel like you want to give us a gift, the gift that keeps on giving, please do so. We have an email. We'll try and look that up for you later. And we'll come back to next week
with an email address.
We do have one.
blackmultiversepod@gmail.com.
blackmultiversepod@gmail.com. We'll link that to something that will help us out. And we have a lot of projects that the Black Multiverse wants to be about, especially when it comes down to sickle cell, especially when it comes down to Black mental health, especially when it comes down to actually taking care of yourself and who you are. So stay tuned.
Yes, you guys, thanks for rocking with us so far for a whole 200 and how many episodes?
38.
238 episodes.
238.
Day after day after day. We've been here every week, whether it's in the morning time. And to be honest with you, it might be more because I didn't count the weekends. I didn't count those 2 years that we actually did 2 episodes a weekend.
What? It's a whole 52 more episodes.
It's actually 104 more episodes because we were there for 2 years or 1 year?
2
years. So it's a whole 104 extra episodes. Okay.
You didn't count those at all?
I didn't count them. Wow. I just did 1 per week.
So that puts us at 342 episodes.
Okay, that means in 8 weeks we'll be having our 350. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the Black Multiverse Theory podcast. We'll see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, 8-ish on your Wednesday night. Good night.
Hit me.
It's playing. They just can't hear it.